A lot of things to get to on Mystery Crate. We have Billy. We have Juju. We have Lucy. We have Jeremy fresh off his honeymoon. Can we give a round of applause for Jeremy and his honeymoon?
That was your honeymoon?
Yeah, that was my honeymoon.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great.
How about love?
Love's great, guys.
Isn't it?
I highly recommend falling in love.
Yeah.
It's really awesome.
Now, the love thing makes me think of the fever dream that Lucy was talking about that I'm still trying to figure out if it's real or not. Like, I don't want to invest the time for the JLo movie. You weren't there, Billy. She spoke about the JLo movie and how it was... there was space. There was people in space. But it's not a space movie.
No, she's not in space. She never goes to space.
She doesn't go to space.
She doesn't go to space ever, but her guardian angels are in space, and they're in this like space orb, and her guardian angels are Trevor Noah, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Sofia Vergara, Jane Fonda, Post Malone, and they're all individual like zodiac signs.
Are they in costume?
Yes, but they just sit and they have meetings about JLo, but she's not JLo in the movie. Her like character name is like the protagonist, like it's not JLo, and they have meetings about.
The more I hear about this movie, the more it's insane. It is
batshit crazy. There's a scene where she's like walking on glass, and then she gets really muddy, and then they're putting rose petals into a machine, and there's this bird that keeps showing up, and she dances in the rain, and she meets her younger self, and there were a lot of things going on, and and she spent all her own money to make that.
How much did she spend?
$30 million.
Damn, that's insane. I heard it was like one long music video, though, right? Like that's kind of how it felt because it was only an hour.
Yes, but it's like it was. You guys know when Kanye West did My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, like his sort of like music video. Yeah, amazing album. But he sort of did like the music video that there was all the songs sort of like a movie. Right. It was kind of like that, but it felt more like a movie in the sense it was like more dialogue heavy. Like you would go like Kanye's, it felt like it kind of went song to song to song.
Like Lemonade.
Yeah, but this went a little more like random spots of dialogue. Like there's a point where she's meeting with all her friends and they are telling her about how she has, problems picking people who she wants to be with, and then she goes and she tells every single one of them what's wrong with them. It was very rude. And then she goes and talks to Fat Joe, her therapist, about it, and he's like, yeah, girl, you got to get it together. And then she starts crying, and then she ends up in a glass house, and then she gets out of the glass house and she ends up back in the factory again. But the factory at first was really messy, and then the factory's really pretty, and then she ends up on the top of the roof with younger JLo, and younger JLo says, I didn't get enough love as a child. Aww. And JLo goes, from your parents? And she goes, no, from you. And then JLo starts to cry because she said, I didn't love young JLo enough, and that she's not loving young JLo enough. And then they embrace, and then her and Ben Affleck ride off in a motorcycle.
Oh, my
And that's
God.
pretty much how it goes.
Billy, your thoughts? You've been investigating what the scenes are of the movie.
This film is one component of a 3-part, $20 million self-financed multimedia project that examines and plays with Jennifer Lopez's life as a serial romantic and includes the album This Is Me Now and the Greatest Love Story Never Told documentary.
So the album flopped.
So are those are the other two components
Yes.
of this 3-part thing?
So it's basically her last album she released 20 years ago when she was engaged to Ben Affleck. And now that she's back with him, she feels re-inspired by love. So she released this album and said, I want to make this movie for this album. And then she said, you know what would be better? What if we film a documentary about me making a movie for this album? I understood the movie better after watching the documentary and hearing her sort of explain it. It still doesn't make sense, and it still wasn't very good. But yeah, and the album hasn't done very well, and she had a tour, and she's had to cancel a lot of the dates for the tour because
they gave
people are not
away
buying
free
tickets.
tickets at the Heat game. Like
What?
they gave away free JLo tickets to an entire row at the Heat game because they're not selling.
Where the concert's here?
Yeah, at Kaseya Center.
It's crazy that she was like doing the halftime show of the Super Bowl 4 years ago and like was
with
a
Shakira.
Giant act. No, but like
And
if
Bad
she would
Bunny.
have gone on tour, it would have been like a huge act.
She asked Bad Bunny to be in the movie, and he said no.
Okay, Bad Bunny.
He's very busy right
He's not, because he had to cancel his concert in Minnesota and Minneapolis because it wasn't selling well. So he canceled his
Of course,
tour
it's
stuff.
Minnesota. Go ahead.
I know how JLo can make all that $30 million back. She can put a $5,000 movie out just recap your experiences with Puff Daddy and your relationship with him.
Oof.
That mother
Probably
trucking
right.
video and that movie would do platinum numbers. It'll go across the globe. JLo, holla at me. I see you, sis.
Executive producer Juju Gotti.
Hey,
If
man.
I'm to watch these 3 things, what order should I watch them in? Like, should I watch the documentary about the movie first so I understand the movie, or is that going to spoil the movie for me?
I don't think the documentary was very. The movie's 66 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
The documentary is like an hour and 45 minutes.
Follow up. Should
Yeah.
I just ignore it all?
Yes.
I would watch the music video because I think it'll do, or the music video movie. I think it'll do my explanation justice, and it just doesn't make any sense, and it's really odd.
I almost like the idea of you telling me what it is, me never seeing it, and just being like, oh, it was weird because Lucy just explained it like she was like on drugs.
Well, see, I want someone to watch it so they can come back and be like, she explained that perfectly.
This is disappointing because
like Billy can do it.
I liked Shotgun Wedding, and I liked her movie with Maluma. I forgot what that one was called. What was that one called? Marry Me. That was a good movie.
Did
That
Maluma
was
speak any English in it?
He speaks English. I don't remember. I mean, it was like 3 years ago.
You remember something from 3 years ago?
No.
I know who Malua is. I'm not sure if my brother Taylor over there knows who Malua is.
Maluma is
Maluma.
a Hispanic
Yeah.
artist.
Singer, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go,
Yeah, my
Taylor.
boy's locked in, dude. My boy listens to Bad Bunny. He has no idea what he's saying, but he's locked in.
Yeah.
Dang.
One of my favorite artists.
Thank you.
Consistently on my Spotify top artists.
Hey,
I feel like if I watch This Is Me Now, right? Is that the movie that we're talking about?
No, I think the movie's called something different.
Yeah, no, the movie
This is me, dot, dot, dot,
yeah,
now.
Oh, yeah,
because
the
the
dots.
first name of her album was "This Is Me Then," which it feels like that should be. I don't know. I don't know.
She a
Man,
time
what's
traveler?
me?
Yeah,
There.
so well, she goes into space. Well, she doesn't go into space, but space.
Neil deGrasse
Space looks out
Space
for her.
goes to her.
Kiki Palmer's also one of her space guardians.
I'm locked in.
Okay, but like, here's the thing. If I watch this just to talk to you about it, I feel like I'm not going to see you for like a month.
Yeah,
Like, so,
I'm not, but you could text me. You have my phone number.
okay.
Right.
So I would watch the JLo movie. I wouldn't watch the documentary because the documentary is just like her making the movie. It is a little funny because you get clips like her where she keeps talking about how her hair was crazy when she lived in the Bronx and how she used to live in the Bronx and how one time when she lived in the Bronx these things happened. And then
feels
she
just
also
very
talks about how she's from
self-serving.
the whole thing is incredibly self-serving. Half the movie is her or the documentary is her being like,
Dude, it's JLo. Of course it's self-serving.
I'm doing
like
things
that.
that have never been done before. There's also, it makes me so uncomfortable, but there are a lot of scenes with her like talking with Ben Affleck, and she always calls him Poppy, but she says it how I say it, like really white. So, and it's so.
Her Spanish isn't
She's
great.
just Jenny from the Bronx.
Her Spanish
guys.
isn't
Come on,
great. Her
she's not-
Ben Affleck's Spanish might be better than hers.
Yeah, she's.
Ben Affleck's Spanish is
And
amazing.
Yeah.
he's funny in
He
it
is
because
amazing.
you can tell that he's like not thrilled with the project, and he's like JLo she's like more public than I am, and I think we should keep our relationship private, but she wants to tell people, and he was the one who was like, she's like, this is the greatest love story never told, and he's like, well, you're telling people.
How
So,
much is JLo worth? Can somebody do that?
A
Google
lot
search
of
for me?
money.
$70 billion.
Like for you to finance something that is absolutely dog shit, and put like 20 million bucks in it. Allegedly, I haven't seen it.
How do you like?
I see 400 million.
How do you make your
Okay.
money back on an Amazon Prime movie?
So my thing is
Puff
like,
Daddy
she
documentary.
might well, so like it's sort of about her previous relationship. So she has
There's no way she talks about Diddy, right?
She doesn't say any names specifically, but she has actors who represent her former partners. And so I'm assuming she's actually going to make money back on this because it's been so bad, the press of it and the conversation around it, that it made me watch.
But
and it's made
Even when it's
several
bad, it's
people.
good.
It's
But, like,
made several people watch.
I actually don't understand the industry. Like, how do you make money off of something that goes to like a subscription?
You think that that's
site?
going to... Well, first of all, Amazon pays you to...
No, I know.
stream it.
I'm assuming there's a fee
Yeah.
at some
Right,
point,
so
right?
they-
But like, you're not
they
getting
pay
paid
you-
based on views. Are
No,
they?
they pay you to be able to stream it. I'm sure she had some sort of relationship with Amazon on the front end, because if she self-produced it and
Yeah.
nobody else really wanted it, then that's how that ends up happening. But it's probable that she thought that this movie would then lead to, okay,
A tour.
everybody's going to
Yeah.
stream the
Yeah.
album and everybody's going to
That's-
come to my tour, so I'll spend the money on the front end, but I'll
Yeah.
make the money back up on touring. And that's the opposite of what's happened.
Oh, it's 100%. She talks about it in the documentary. She had a financial backer and someone who wanted to buy it, and then they backed out last minute. And she was like, "No,
Literal backer.
this is too important."
Linebacker,
So
Backer outer.
she kept paying for
running
it.
backer.
That's it.
It's a weird watch.
It feels like I got everything that I needed. I think the audience got everything we needed. Like, I don't think they need to watch it because you did such a good job explaining it.
Is it weird that I talked to Taylor about this?
About this specific thing?
Sort of related to this.
Okay.
I was in on A-Rod and JLo together, but I'm out on each of them apart.
Agreed.
They are the best couple together.
They were perfect
But
together
apart,
because they deserved each other.
I'm kind of like, I'm not super interested in either one of them individually, but together I loved it. Even while knowing, like, this is fake.
Aw,
it makes
man.
sense.
They wasn't in real love? I thought they was in real love.
I thought so too.
Look, after
got that
watching the
birthday
movie,
cake.
it doesn't seem like she was in real love with anybody. She was just in love with the idea of love.
But
Learned
is
that.
she- is
The
she-
hummingbird
but
told her
That I believe.
But what about
That-
young J-Lo? Who did she love?
JLo, nobody, because old JLo didn't love young JLo.
Oh my God.
It's hard for her to love others if she doesn't love herself.
Exactly.
That's the whole point of the
So
movie.
young JLo had to come forward. And you know what? They were building a mechanical heart, symbolism.
So-
She danced in the rain, symbolism.
So how does Ben feel about being in this movie where she's like, I don't actually love anyone, including myself?
He was very like, oh, I wish we would keep our relationship a little more private.
Yeah.
And he's in the documentary quite a bit. He's in the movie, but only when he shows up at the end and like half his face is cropped off. And then they run off on a motorcycle together, and then that's the happy ending. Also, he's in the movie as a random news anchor that just appears like randomly in the background. It's like, breaking news, love doesn't exist anymore. And that's Ben
That's a
Affleck.
story.
Yeah, but he looked totally different. I had no idea it was him as the news anchor. And then he's in the documentary quite a bit because he like helped her with like the writing and stuff, which like I wouldn't brag about that. But
Yeah. Did you guys like Geely? I liked Geely.
Didn't
They
have
talked about
raving
it in there.
reviews.
It had terrible reviews. That's why I watched it, and I was like, this is fine. It wasn't
didn't
terrible.
watch it.
It was fine.
Oh, we should watch Geely together on the Tony Show coming soon.
What is
No,
this?
that's not-
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't know.
isn't it like him and her did a movie together?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Geely.
it's just for
Yeah, I didn't
the
watch
older
it.
guys. Yeah, it was a bad movie from back in the day. It got made fun of.
I don't remember.
profusely.
Oh yeah, no, everybody like crapped all over it.
Yeah,
like
it's
it
a
was a
metaphor.
giant bomb.
Yeah,
But it wasn't terrible. Gigli.
That's what I was
What's
just about to
the
ask.
artist or the piece of art from somebody that you like that wasn't good that you'll stand on and be like, no, this was good because I like the artist? Like, it could be an album, it
That's
could be a
great
movie.
question.
That's a really good
But
question.
you're like, this is my guy, this is my girl. I support what they do. Even if this was kind of shit, I still support it.
There's lots of like musicians in particular where I'm like, we're good. No more new music, please. Like,
Wow.
let's stick to the old
Only
music.
the old stuff.
I'm good. I don't need any
Name
more.
a name.
the Billy Joel special.
I'd be perfectly fine, and I don't want this to be viewed as criticism. I do not. I will say this right
I
now.
know where this is going.
You do not know where this is going.
I know where this is going.
Write it down on a piece of paper. You don't know where this is going.
All right,
Write down the
continue
artist
talk.
right now. You
Continue
don't know where
talk.
this is going.
Continue
You're
talk.
full
Side
of
note why
ass.
he writes that. I understand why the people sitting here, like Greg Cody yesterday, had trouble keeping this mic in front of them
Bunch of 'em.
because it smells like burp and nickels. Like this microphone stank as
What?
hell. My
Here.
bad for that
I'm gonna-
visual.
Give me a piece of paper. Burp and nickels.
That's gross.
You think that you know that where this is going, and I think
How about
that
you use a real piece of paper instead of a napkin?
I think that I know where you think this is going, and it's not where this is going.
I think you saw what I wrote.
no, I
Okay.
didn't.
This is like the mentalist.
Yeah, we both. Odds.
What a callback.
So I think that you think that you know where this is going, but this is not where I'm going with it.
Okay, so on the count of three, are we going to read or are we going to show the audience?
This is who.
This is who you're writing, who you think I think you're talking
No,
about.
I'm gonna say who I think first, and then we'll reveal because then
Okay.
you can't switch it up, and I can't
Okay.
switch it up.
I
to
don't even
screw
have a
you over.
pen, so.
Okay, I'd be perfectly fine if Rihanna never made any new
Wow.
music ever. I
was
love
so-
I kind of think she might
Rihanna.
not.
I was so close to
I
writing
love
that.
Rihanna so much.
Damn.
Rihanna, like my first dance was a Rihanna song.
Really?
It was.
How beautiful. I love
Yeah.
love.
Love Rihanna. I'd be perfectly fine if she didn't make any new music ever again. And she puts on a great show. If I'd be fine with no new music from Rihanna.
You ready?
You want to reveal?
Yeah. 3.
I'm just going to show the camera. Pitbull is who I assumed that he was going to put.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
he put
God.
Pitbull.
Pitbull.
Here's the crazy thing is that Pitbull he just put out a song with Dolly Parton like recently.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And it was great.
It's getting rave reviews.
He cool because he went, Dolly,
Hey.
Dolly.
Well, it's really like
are you
Dolly.
trying to do there?
Dolly redid 9 to 5, right? And she just like added words.
And then
stuff.
she like said words.
Yeah,
like
she
it was
did,
sort of a rap.
She did a new song
Salute to
Yeah, well,
with Pitbull.
they both did a new song, but he said Dolly, but also Dolly.
Layered.
Can I have a pen back? The other
That
one?
for-
You're blaming me for his pun?
It's layered.
Right. What was that for? And salute to Dolly, looking incredible at this
Unbelievable.
age. Oh my God. We
Chris
all
Cody would.
aspire to be. He ain't the only one.
What?
Oh, what
He
happened?
said it on the air.
Welcome to Mystery Crate, by the way.
Hey.
Guys, I have a situation. I'm gonna filibuster so everybody can think of the artist that they stand on.
I
even
got
though
mine already.
You have yours already? How about the rest of the class? Anybody?
I don't have mine yet.
I felt like you guys objected to Rihanna.
I don't disagree with you.
I didn't mean it as an insult in any way.
I don't think
Sure.
it's insulting.
I'm just
Right.
very happy with what she did.
Right.
And by the way, like she has an empire that she's built outside of music.
Fenty
Oh
is
my God,
like the
Fenty's
biggest brand
amazing.
in the world
Crazy.
almost.
Right?
It's crazy.
Crazy. She doesn't need to ever record a song again, ever go on tour again. Like she's set.
Yeah.
She is that.
Also, if I was Taylor Swift, I think I'd retire.
If I was Taylor Swift, I'd run for president next year.
I would never run for president
2028.
ever.
How old is she?
Why would I want that
don't know.
headache?
She's
She's old enough.
35.
She'll
You have
be
to be
fine.
35.
No, she'll be fine next election. She'd
No,
be
she-
an idiot to run for president.
Yeah, there's
I
no
thought she
point.
would
But
win.
she can influence the result,
I think Taylor
which
Swift
is
could
better
win.
than running.
She could absolutely.
Yeah, no, she could win.
Yeah, for sure.
I would never. I would.
But I don't
What a-
encourage that. You know, it's a serious office.
What a
so-
headache.
So the,
exactly right.
Being president of the
I
United
don't need
States.
that.
Why?
For
To
what?
do what?
No, thank you. I'm good.
And none of us want to.
To have half the world hate me, have the other half whatever. Like who cares?
Right.
She made like $1 billion,
That's
over
what I'm
$1 billion
saying.
from this tour. Like, just
Damn.
chill for like 5 years,
Nah,
and then
man,
come
the
back,
grind
and then
don't
people
stop. She can
stop.
sleep when she dead. You feel
She's
me?
a
She hustler.
capitalist queen. She's
I know,
gonna
it's
get all
crazy.
that
Why?
Yes, she is.
But
She is
why?
going to do everything.
She's gonna
she can.
capitalize on everything,
Yeah,
man.
she's got a new album coming out, I believe, next month.
Yep.
Can't wait.
And she charges for everything.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
she is really just. She makes a lot of money.
Even as a Swiftie,
American
I'm
made, huh?
She is
American
so
all the way
American
through.
made.
So who's the artist or art that you stand on, even though other people think it's bad?
Anything new from like the Foo Fighters, because you know sometimes like Pearl Jam a little bit, but like grunge, it had its moment. It's kind of fallen off. I think that they still like some of their stuff is still like pretty decent, but like I don't care. You made such good shit in the '90s and early 2000s.
So
like,
you'll still go
you
back and listen to it.
I will still go back and listen to it. If the Foo Fighters are in town, I'm going to go see them.
Yeah.
If Dave Grohl walked in here right now and said, "I need a kidney," bam, scalpel, here you go.
Wow.
I feel that way about
Love
Green Day
him.
a little bit, where Green Day keeps making music, and you like a few of the songs off their records, but I would have been fine if they stopped making music after like 2009. Same with like Fall Out Boy. They
Yeah.
did not need to keep making music after 2008.
Can I ask the
2009.
two of you a question? Because I
Yes.
feel like that you will have the answer for me. Explain Red Hot Chili Peppers to me.
I like the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I know, explain
and I
it to
saw
me.
it's
Lucy likes them more than I do. I'm somewhat indifferent about Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Red Hot Chili Peppers was like you're in high school, you go to the beach, and
Yeah.
it's like there's like 4 or 5 of you in the
Smoke
car
weed for the first time.
and then there's
Yeah.
like someone's
Yeah,
like,
you got
oh,
it.
we really got to listen to Red Hot Chili Peppers, and you're like,
What's a Red
again?
Hot Chili Pepper song?
well, we got to vet it. Number one, or it leads to a lot of headaches. I learned that the hard way a couple
Vomiting,
years ago,
too.
but
Da-na-na-na, Danny California. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
That's
not as helpful
Under
as you
the
think that
bridge.
was.
not great.
Wasn't helpful. You know, Flea, the
Under
guy
the
that goes to
bridge
Lakers
downtown.
game.
Definitely know Flea.
Oh, I read
Fleet
Flea's
Is
book.
where
Very
I
good.
some blood.
Also,
Flea-
Flea- put a
I
shirt,
know
put a
that.
shirt on.
Oh, that's Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Yeah, but it's like, but that's all of the songs.
Yeah,
like that
yeah,
one that he
yeah.
just did is
Yeah, it
every
is.
single
It
one.
is. They're all very similar.
Take me to the place
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Heavy glow.
Okay.
By the way, I
Yeah.
tried to. Yeah.
Their new stuff isn't great. Actually, there's a few songs that I think are really good. They released a song a couple years ago, "Sick Love," that's really, really good. It's like a very like it's weird. I really loved them when I was like my sophomore or junior year in college, got crazy into it, and then my little brother did it at the same time, and it feels like it's just a weird thing you really get into. I saw them in concert back in LA, and they're a phenomenal live band. Like they're really good performers.
So are they a phase?
They feel like a phase. Like I don't
For sure.
dislike the Red Hot Chili Peppers anymore, but it's not what I actively listen to.
There are definitely people who like listen to them at one point in their lives and then let it go, and then will nostalgically be like, "Oh yeah, I remember those songs from when I was 20."
So what? I guess we already have another game that we're playing, which is like something that someone you liked had that you were embarrassed about, but you'll like stand by because you like the person, right? And if you're listening, you can tweet at all of this stuff so we can
That's a great
continue this
title.
conversation.
Yeah.
But what other like musical acts are a phase? Like this is a phase in everybody's life that they like this group or whatever.
Maybe Soulja Boy Tell 'Em, like the dance.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
a
but
good
that was a
one.
moment in time.
Yeah,
Like,
that was a
right.
moment in
Trend.
time.
That's a
That
moment
was
in time. Like, I don't think people are going through a Soulja Boy Tell 'Em phase now. Like, there's
mean,
not like sophomore year. I really
can
love
speak
Soulja
on
Boy.
behalf
Draco
of white
now.
people.
He's Big Draco now.
I'm saying like for like Atlanta. In Atlanta, there was a time where you snapped your fingers.
Yeah.
Do your step.
And every song had a
Yeah.
dance. So I feel like the dancing era was a
No,
certain era.
but that was an era. That was a
Okay.
moment in time. I'm talking
what's-
about like
can we
a
define phase and era?
Okay, so like a phase is like
Something that everybody goes through.
Someone everybody goes through, but at different times. So like right now, there's kids that are growing up that are like 7 years old, and like by the time they're like 24, they've gone through the phase.
So for white
of
people, it's the
Red Hot
Beatles.
Chili Peppers.
For white people, it's the Beatles.
The Beatles?
Every one of us at some point is at least exposed to it, and then.
But there's people
And
that
think it
haven't.
rocks?
No.
Is that what it is?
There's people that haven't recovered from Beatlemania.
So,
Right.
and that's
They
my
still
little
have it.
sister. So my little
I
sister,
still love the Beatles.
she went through the most intense Beatle phase I've ever seen in my entire life. Like it just happened when she was in elementary school. She started just only listening to the Beatles. She showed up wearing Beatles stuff every single day. She would wear a Beatles shirt every day. She had a cardboard cutout of John Lennon in her room. She was like, it was the weirdest thing I've
Wake up at
ever
night a
seen.
little
And it was, oh my God, they would keep that thing in the basement every time I'd come home. I'd be like,
I'm good.
and so the Beatles phase, I think, is a really good one.
Yeah, I had
think a lot of
multiple
people- I think
Beatles
for
posters in
one-
my room. I had a John Lennon poster. I went to Abbey Road on my honeymoon.
I've again, I don't know if this is 100%
Did you?
true.
Was it blocked off by
Epic,
walls
by
or
the
something,
way.
or
No.
that was a picture of something else?
Yeah, no,
I
so
thought you put up a
it's-
picture and it's like, oh, there's construction there.
Yeah, so
Jeremy
there's
went there
like
for nothing.
Abbey Road is like it's just a street,
Yeah.
and then you can like cross the crosswalk where they shot the photo for the album cover, and then Abbey Road Studios is blocked off on its own because they still use it as a recording studio for artists now. Like a lot of really popular artists use Abbey Road recording studios. Actually, Foo Fighters have used Abbey Road recording studios.
Right. What's the name of the band that Kurt Cobain was in?
Nirvana.
Nirvana.
That's
Is
another
that a
one.
stage?
Yeah, that could be. That's a good one
That's a
because
good
that's
phase.
that's like the perfect. You think that you're getting into like grunge because they are the representation of grunge music. So you go through that phase of like, yeah, I listen to really cool grunge music, but really if you don't go beyond Nirvana, then it's like you're listening to Smells Like Teen Spirit and that's it. I definitely also did a Nirvana phase.
I went through the Nirvana phase, and I got so into it, I bought Kurt Cobain's diary, and I still have it.
Hell yeah.
It was really
Not his actual diary.
well, not the actual.
would've cost you a lot
That
of
would have
money,
cost
yeah.
a lot of
That's
money,
crazy.
but I like read his diary, which felt really invasive that they sold it.
Right.
And it's really dark.
Are you in a phase now?
That's a good question. Yeah, I feel like I'm a pretty like hyperfixation person. So I was in a really big disco phase like
Really?
2 months ago. I'm less disco right now.
Okay.
But I'm always a little disco.
More Panic?
I'm always 100% disco.
Wow.
I love disco. That like I went through a huge like funk disco phase like over the last like year or two, and I never really liked it before. Then I went crazy into it.
The picture I have is Lucy listening to like Jefferson Airplane
Yeah.
in a smoky room.
Right.
The question smoke. I don't know what kind of smoke, but smoke with like a disco ball and like a bunch of weird stuff.
And John Travolta.
I
just
went-
swinging her.
And saw. So I went and saw George Clinton in Parliament, and that's the band that's
Hey.
We Got the Funk,
Hey.
gotta have that funk. And that was one of my favorite concerts I've ever been to because George Clinton is old, like he's in his like 80s. So he came out there and he was like, and Parliament's all a bunch of like rotating people, so it's a young like group. So there's a bunch of young people going out, and he's standing there dancing. I'm like, hell yeah, George Clinton, let's go. And then after the first song, he got too tired, so they had to roll an office chair out for him. And it was like an office chair like this one. So
Poor
he just
George.
he just sat in the middle of the stage and just spun around in this office chair clearly bought at like Staples. But it was a really good show. I was the youngest person there by a lot. By a while.
I was gonna
By a while.
ask what was the difference in age between the youngest person and then you.
But we were probably, and like I had friends who liked that music too, so we were probably the youngest people there by like 20, 30 years. But it actually works out pretty nice for me because when the old people I like come into town, I can just go see them pretty cheap. Like I saw Bob Dylan. I was shocked I knew one of the songs.
Bob
I felt-
Dylan's still with us?
Yeah, I didn't know either. I thought he was,
Killed Bob Dylan?
and I like him.
Look, to answer the question on my end, this is a very
Hold on.
niche-
Give me 1 second. Oh, it's not on. Taylor, can you
damn.
turn on Dan SFX?
I'm sure.
Dan SFX.
totally worth it, by the way.
Hold on. Give me 1 more second.
White woman, white, 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 white.
That was actually
Right? I felt spot on with that one, right?
I was about to say my person is Lil Wayne and Young LA.
All right, guys and Lucy, it is
Thank
time
you.
for everybody's favorite segment. You betcha.
You're not bringing the energy.
Yeah, I'm not
Taylor.
an energy.
Like,
I'm not an energy guy.
One more
But
time.
also, I'm in this position right now. I'm producing.
Yeah, he is.
Oh.
I'm not
Right.
I'm not a star. I don't want the ball. I'm trying to pass it to Lucy. I'm
Right.
passing it to Billy. I'm
Right.
dishing it to Juju.
Right.
Nice.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Setting
I'm
picks,
keeping the rails
he's
on the
rolling.
I'm keeping the train on the track.
Yeah, I'm glad we got a second go at that.
But You Betcha is sponsored by DraftKings. Stay tuned because you'll hear more about DraftKings and all it has to offer throughout the show.
There we go.
DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Hey.
You Betcha this week we are going to the Premier League.
Okay.
It's a top of the table clash.
Top of the table class, bruv.
Yes, that's what I need, the translation.
There you go.
Arsenal, Man City, at Man City. Man City, we're taking Man City minus 110.
Okay.
If Man City wins, they will leapfrog their way to the top of the table that Arsenal currently resides at.
Okay.
We're
Damn.
betting on City to get all 3 points in the game. And that was
Salute to my-
you.
Salute to my Arsenal bros.
Betcha. Billy, I need...
Betcha.
Yeah.
You can't complain about the energy and not give me
Betcha.
the...
I think, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think You Betcha's a parlay.
We will...
No, it's not.
It's not a parlay.
Lucy is saying no, it's not.
I don't think it is.
I'm pretty sure Mike usually has a couple different picks in there,
No.
if I'm not mistaken.
Well, he was
No.
dumb and he got sick, so Taylor was in
That is
charge.
true. Well, how sick is he? If he's texting,
I saw him yesterday. He was perfectly fine.
If he's texting me, how sick can he really be?
Well, I mean,
You got a problem with it, bro.
How about we
Put it on the
throw
Arsenal
throw a little
months.
quid on Haaland to score? How about that? You like
City
that?
to win,
Haaland to score.
Yep, I love that.
Do you even know what you're talking about, bro?
he doesn't.
No, I have no idea, but I pull Haaland out of you nowhere.
Salute you alone.
Hey yo. All right, Billy has a.
A game.
Is
I
it a
have
game? Is it really a game?
Well,
Or
if
is it
it's
more
a
of a
game,
question?
if it's a game, if you guys play along with it, but we
Okay.
still haven't also gotten to the things that you guys are embarrassed that your favorite artists have done.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten to that, I don't think.
Yes.
And then we did phases. We got through that one. And then we have another question that I have to ask later on.
I also have another question later on.
Okay.
I
Write
got
down
one
your
too.
question. I'm
I
going to
already
write down
did.
my
I
question
already
and
did.
see if it's the same question.
Oh, it's on the side.
Okay, so I was looking this up and I ran into this person because this person, don't look.
I'm not-
I ran into this person because I was looking up one of the JLo movies and this person showed up on the IMDb and I go, I know that person. I was like, never would have guessed their name. Not once in my life. And this is one of those people that will show up in like movies randomly. You may not even know what movie you know this person from, but you see
Just
this
a
person's
movie.
face.
Yeah.
On the
And
big
you're
screen.
like, I know this person. I'm going to give you the name.
Okay.
And if any of you know what this person looks like, I'd be shocked.
No. Don't give us a name. Show us the picture. Put us to the test.
No, but he says that we'll never know the name.
You'll never know.
So if we know the name, then we can put the name to the face.
You're never going to guess his name. Do you know? Does any of you know who Justin Bartha is?
Of
No.
course I know who Justin Bartha is. Are you serious? Never heard of him.
Okay.
I know who that is.
But look at this. You know that guy from movies.
Is it the guy from The Hangover?
Oh, yeah. He's right. See? Taylor
look at
would've
this
known.
guy.
The guy from The Hangover?
Yeah, he's from The Hangover. I think
I
he's
would've
from like
never
the
known his
National
name, though.
Treasure movies.
Oh!
Like this is like.
It's
I know
Alan.
that
It's Alan
is.
from The Hangover.
This is-
Yes.
No, it's not Alan.
No, Alan is Zach Galifianakis.
Oh, it's
Oh boy, you were way off.
yeah.
Damn, you had
But
it,
I knew
bro.
it was The Hangover. Yeah.
All
I
right.
got a little too cocky.
I got a
he
question
is-
for Lucy.
He's Nick Cage's
Yeah.
assistant in National Treasure.
Not yes.
He
he
wrote a
is.
Great
book.
movies.
Great
Remember?
job.
I
Yeah.
love those movies.
love those
love
When they
Treasure
said they
Hunt
weren't going to
movies.
come out and do another National Treasure, I was made upset.
That's
No,
one of
that-
those that they say every once in a while, like we're gonna do another one, we're gonna do another one, and then they don't.
Nick Cage
No, they
does a
said
ton
they're
of
not
shit
going to do
movies.
it.
They decided finally.
Yeah, they said they are not doing another one.
Nick Cage
man.
has a lot of stupid spending habits. I'm not going to close the book on National Treasure right now.
That's
It-
true.
Crossed.
There's always a chance that he's going to need to get bailed out of some stupid decision he's
No
made.
better joke than, throwing a couple Miller Lights with the boys and then looking around at the table and being like,
You start touching things, seeing are there secret
We're gonna steal
compartments
the
in this
Declaration of
table.
Independence.
Yeah,
So good.
You start
Every
figuring it
single
out.
time it hits.
it kills every time.
fire.
Got a couple Miller Lights. Hey, you know what we're going to do? Steal the Declaration of Independence. Everybody's like, yeah!
Lucy, have you seen the Kingsman? I think we talked. Did we talk about this last week on air? Or no?
We've talked about it at
I
some
have
point.
not.
This may have just been a thing we talked about here. I watched the third one.
hard to-
The
There's
third
more
one
than
was
one?
Yeah, there's more than one. No, when you
No, we
watch
did talk
one,
about it.
you're
We
like,
did talk
this
about
is
it.
good. Then you see the second one. At the time, I had only seen one.
Yeah.
I went
One
through and
was
I
good.
saw 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Surprise Channing Tatum appearance. We talked about 2.
We did.
I got back and I saw 3. 3 was a prequel. Terrible. Had nothing to do with the first 2. It was basically like, how do we make money off of this franchise? And then also,
last squeeze.
let's randomly throw in a backstory that involves Rasputin and Hitler.
It's absolutely rubbish, bruv. It was. I agree.
There we go.
Well, I have a question for Lucy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So my sister Lucy be out on the road all the time. Salute the off-roading.
Off-roading.
Oh my God, her and Rose be killing it. But there's a lot of drunk, aggressive people you come across at these places. So what's the proper way to greet Lucy Rodine for a person listening? And they're gonna see you this weekend in Albany, maybe to see Caitlyn Clark. They're like, I want to talk to Lucy. What should I come up and say?
Hi. I don't. I would just say hi. I don't really like. We haven't dealt with like terrible like aggressiveness. Like there were a few moments at the Michigan game where like it was after they had won and they were like pretty bad. But I usually just like when people say hi. One time though, I was flying and a lady just took a picture of me sitting waiting for the airplane and then just sent it to me. And I said, I really wish you would have just come up and said hi instead.
Don't do that, guys. If you hear that, don't take a picture of my sister and send it to her.
How'd they send it to you?
Like it was
airdrop or they tweeted at you?
it to me. So I'm sitting there, and by the way, my posture's pretty bad, so it was no very good photo.
Did you talk to this person after?
No, because I was sitting and they didn't have like a name or picture. It was just like whatever, some like random Twitter account,
no.
and it was like look who I see at the airport. So I had to like look around and be like, who's taking photos?
What's the
of
angle?
Me?
Yeah,
it was
Yikes.
It was not a flattering photo, and I don't look good when I travel.
So that's not the move to answer Juju's
So
question.
yeah,
don't
that's
do
not
that.
the move.
Okay.
People don't come up to me that often, which I actually kind of like. Sometimes when they come up to me, I get a little overwhelmed. So yeah.
Nice. We are so proud of you.
But to be clear, not overwhelmed in a way that she doesn't like or appreciate you guys and the fans. Like she's not annoyed by you and doesn't dislike you, and she's not too good to say hello to you.
Yes, thank you for saying that. But yeah, like when I'm in the middle of a conversation and sometimes people will come up and I'm like, oh, buddy, I was talking. But that's okay because I'm so grateful that you guys recognize me and that you're kind to me. And I love when they compliment my outfit.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's
a couple people came up to me in Iowa and they didn't know who I was and they just said, I like your outfit. And that meant so much to me.
Okay, but also don't be creepy with it, I would think, right? So like if someone's like, hey, I like your sneakers, that's like, okay.
Yeah.
But then if someone's like, I like your like yoga pants, and you're like, well,
Okay,
yeah, that's
buddy.
weird.
Hose off.
yeah, like where's the
The greatest compliment I ever got was one day I was in a Target and like this girl had to be 10 years old and she came up to me and she was like, I really like your outfit. And when a kid tells you that, you're like, you mean it.
Right.
You wouldn't just say that. You mean that so much, and I'll never forget it.
Oh man, we're gonna never forget you.
What? Is she dying?
You're
What's
dying.
going on? Are you okay?
Where is she going?
Lucy,
I'm
you
not
okay?
dying.
What's happening?
I'm going to Albany, which might be worse than death, so I don't know.
Like when you go to these places that are, again, respectfully, in the middle
boy.
of effing nowhere.
That's not respectful.
Respectfully, and I could have said something.
We got off
worse
to
and
a good
I didn't.
start. Say that. Say the
No,
worst
I
thing.
can't. No, I can't.
Say the
I
worst
can't.
thing.
No, I can't. I can't. So when you go to these places that are very far from population,
Remote locations.
good spot.
As long as you say respectfully, you could say it.
Exactly.
No, you
respectfully,
cannot.
Respectfully, when you're in the middle of fucking nowhere, respectfully, mark that. Do you have a hard time like finding things to do, or is it like I'm here in Albany, like let me go to the diner? Like what do you do?
Well, most of the time our schedules are pretty packed, so we don't have a ton of time to like go do fun stuff. And when we are somewhere cool, I usually try to like book the flights in a way that I can extend the trip. Like when we were in Seattle, I was able to add like an extra day or two to actually go do fun stuff. When I go to these college towns, we're usually flying in Friday and leave Sunday. And Friday, I just like love walking around the campus. I'll go inside the buildings. I'll go in classrooms. I'll go wherever the doors open. And I really like seeing it. And it's really nice. And I get my steps in. But like when I'm in Iowa and I have a day off, honestly, you're usually so exhausted from like the work you've done the day before that you just like chill and it's fine. But the cool thing is like going back, everything is so cheap in these towns. I went to a coffee shop and I was like, I'm just gonna get a bunch of stuff because I'm probably gonna be hungry the day. I got 2 bottles of water, a large latte, a breakfast sandwich, and like a little croissant. $20.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Oh my God.
It was awesome.
Talk about the Wi-Fi connection in most of these places, though. That's the only thing.
Oh
at
my
the
God.
stadiums.
Like if you go to like any sort of college town on a college football Saturday, good luck. When I go into Iowa for the weekend of a college football game, by the time like I get there Friday, there's no signal in the entire city.
Fudge.
Did you guys previously talk about Wi-Fi? Because if not, that's like a very specific question. It's a very strange question.
I have to send Juju clips from these like games, and I always have to be like, "Hey man, I'm
This
so
makes sense,
sorry.
then.
It is not going to be
I always
a
feel
simple
her
process."
pain, man, because sis be out there getting such good views, and she be at the actual in the thick of it, and I know that Wi-Fi connection.
It's terrible.
I've never had someone house the
How's the
Wi-Fi
Wi-Fi
on a
connection?
travel.
Right, Elon Musk,
really
what?
bad.
I love
You're not hip, really.
No, I know. I
fitting
just-
out.
Oh, that's fair.
You're hip. I take it back. You're
It's
hip.
okay.
You're hip
I
as
think
hell.
you're
Fit
very
out.
hip.
Right, you're
Thanks,
hip as
guys.
hell. You just didn't know about the Wi-Fi situation.
Yeah.
It's all good. Moving on to lighter topics. I have no.
I have a
You were gonna
question.
go. I was letting you drive there.
I have a question. Hot debate topic. And it's
boy.
really a nonsense topic because it's not going to happen. But
Oh, I know
the
where
Big
we're
Three
going.
offered Caitlyn Clark $5 million to play 8 games, potentially 2 playoff games. Now, if you look at how the season would play out, she would miss 2 WNBA games
The W.
of the Fever, like by their schedule. She'd miss 2 of their games.
Allegedly,
If this happened.
if they take her number one, you never know.
If they take her number one. But I believe that her salary as a number 1 pick, obviously not including endorsement money, is like $75,000 or something like that, right? So if you're her, do you take $5 million for 8 games and miss 2 games, knowing obviously as her career goes on, she's going to be making more than that, right? But at that rate, it would take you 60 years to make if you make $76,000 a year to make $5 million.
But not her though.
Not her, though, because she'll have the endorsements and she'll make up the money in other
Yeah.
ways, right? But do you even consider that $5 million offer? Because what could potentially happen is you have a washed-up 50-year-old that's playing in the Big Three, or you have some sort of joker who's going to make it their mission to just try to embarrass her and try to make it
Or
look...
foul the crap out of
exactly
her.
right.
Big Baby Davis.
So do you take the $5 million, or do you
Big
not?
Baby Davis comes
My bad,
straight there.
my bad, bro.
What happened to Big Baby? Drive by straight on
Sorry,
Big
Big
Baby.
Big Baby's probably been in the Big Three.
No, he
I
has.
were to
He
guess.
has. But I
Yeah.
don't know why he's getting attached to hard foul there.
Big Three's fun, by the way. I saw Big Three one time when they were down here.
I was there in person.
It was fun.
Right.
Talk to Cube.
Lucy, would you take it?
If I'm Caitlyn, my first priority is winning the national championship for the University.
Well,
of
yeah,
Iowa.
no,
That's
no,
all I
no,
care
no.
about
No,
right
no,
now.
no,
is I'm
yeah.
We don't
Caitlyn.
care about
Okay.
that right now.
Okay, yes. Okay, but
That's the most important thing.
Post.
Hey,
Once
man,
she wins her
post
natty,
that.
then we can have this conversation. If I were Caitlyn, like, I'm assuming she's probably making well over $5 million from her State Farm deal alone, not
Right.
counting the other deals she has.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's necessarily the best move to make as a rookie in the WNBA, especially when, like, Caitlyn very clearly has a target on her back, and you've seen that in these tournament games, and I think she'll have a target on her back when she goes to the WNBA. She's the most talked about women's basketball player in a really long time. She could get away with it because I also think because of the star power she's bringing that she can probably do whatever she wants.
I
And
don't think the WNBA could tell her no.
They would cater to her. I don't think she'll do it. It just doesn't really seem like a Caitlyn move to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe next season, maybe just not her rookie year. But yeah, I don't foresee her doing that. But I know that right now her only focus is winning the national title.
Amen.
And
It
that's
feels
it.
like if it's not now, it's never. Like if it's not with this offer,
Nah.
Big Three is...
With-
Because Jaylen Brown, he stepped up and showed people that, hey, professional players can come here and make some money. Well, no, he don't think he made no money. But they can just come there and be supported.
Sure.
I think Caitlyn, if she does decide to do that, she will be philanthropic about it. I think
No
she'll keep
way.
maybe a couple mil and then disperse that million back
She has
into
a
women's
foundation.
sports. You feel what I'm saying? So
She has a
there's ways
foundation.
So hold
that
on,
she
you
can
have
do
her
it.
did an
playing in the
NIL
Big
deal for the
Three,
food bank.
but then taking some of the money she made in the Big Three and then donating it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
that
thi-
actually tracks.
Yes, for
don't know
sure.
about
that.
I think she would donate at least half to maybe most of it.
She donated a ton of her money that, like, from NIL earnings from the last postseason run to the Iowa Food Bank.
Sure,
because she's a great person.
But she also knows that she's got more money coming in.
yeah,
on
she's got so much more coming in from
Right.
The problem
sponsorship.
is if you're, again, respectfully,
Oh, boy.
you're one injury away from your athletic
Don't put that out
prime
there.
being taken from you.
Put that out there.
I'm not putting on anybody.
That's the thing. It's $5 million guaranteed.
It's not like I'm a scientist and I can be a scientist till I'm 900 years old.
Well, I'm
Like,
assuming she
I'm
has
a
a
basketball
lot
player.
of money.
I've got
And
10
she's-
years to make it happen.
One of her investment deals is with like a financial company. Like I'm assuming, and
Right.
my girl, business major, so I
Sure.
trust her.
It's crazy to think that you could just be like, no, thank you, to $5 million.
I'm sure she says no thank you to deals all the time.
I know. That's crazy. I
Because
would
Fox was going to offer her an NIL deal to stay in college that I'm assuming probably would have been in that ballpark.
Wow.
Right. We're just hearing about this one.
Yeah.
Because Ice Cube involved.
Well,
He
Ice Cube
confirmed
came
it.
out.
He
Ice
tweeted
Cube
it,
came
yeah.
out and confirmed it. He's like, well, we didn't want it to come out until after the national champion, but now it's out there. It's
So-
true.
And like that's a good investment.
It's a great move by them.
Yeah.
That would be
Hell yeah.
huge for them.
Oh, I mean, ticket sales alone, they'd make up everything
Yeah.
that they're spending and just press. But
They
It
should
also-
look into a Big Three women's league.
It also legitimizes them in like a strange
Oh, yeah.
way when like, and I don't like. I'm saying this respectfully. They're doing it as like a look what we did. You know what I mean? It's like it's almost like a sideshow type thing that would be the sideshow, the rare sideshow that legitimizes
It's
your league.
almost, and again, it's not at that level, but it's
Respectfully.
almost respectfully. It's almost at the Leo Messi to MLS, right? Where it's a league,
understand
yeah.
what you're
Okay,
saying.
I get what you're
everybody,
saying,
everybody,
yeah.
feel, okay, cool, yeah. Now MLS is fine.
Listen.
Then you bring somebody of that stature.
He doesn't take MLS seriously. Neither am I.
Okay.
When he starts taking those games seriously,
Okay,
then
but
I will.
If Big Three is able to land Caitlyn Clark in a
Right.
monster like coup, like that's a big deal.
Hell yeah, bro.
no, it's a huge deal.
But I
Big
also
Three
don't
needs her more.
Yes,
she's a-
100%.
she doesn't need
Just
them at
like
all.
the MLS needs
Sure.
Messi
Like-
more.
Talk about it.
The
Talk.
last thing
but
I want to
also,
see,
WNBA needs her.
100%. So it's a bidding
need
war
her.
almost.
yeah.
I need her to win the national title.
What
girl.
nobody wants to see is Michael Beasley coming down the lane with a monster slam and then Caitlyn Clark.
You
standing
know
underneath.
there's someone
That
good.
is
You
not-
know
that
there's
is
one
not
out
what we
there.
need to see.
Real, if you a hooper, you gonna have those moments, man. Get
Oh,
dunked on,
100%.
ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Well, what we don't want is one of these big gargantuan guys touching our sister, fouling the crap out of her, injuring her.
Well,
That's the
I
most
feel like
important part.
Hoopers know the hard foul situation.
No,
who
but
they
I
can
mean,
foul, who they
There's
can't.
also levels to it, right? Because in the Big Three, one, she's coming in, and a lot of these players are respectfully past their prime, which is why they're in the Big
Some,
Three.
yeah.
And they're old,
Understandably.
not some. Like
No, there's some that can still ball. Frank Nitti plays at the Drew League. He's an incredible
Right.
basketball
Jordan Crawford. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Come on, steal buckets.
player. Yeah.
Okay, but there's no
But
NBA
we get
players
what
who
you're
are
saying.
choosing to play in the Big Three.
Jaylen Brown. But we understand what you mean.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
my point is
Agreed.
this: that they're playing with a chip on their shoulder, right? And they're not going to be making $5 million a year.
Yeah, agreed.
So you're going to be kind of trying to prove a point, I would think,
For sure.
some of them.
For sure.
And you're setting yourself up for that if you're
And that's
her.
why I
So
think it's
then
a bad
what's the
idea.
risk? Or
Yeah.
what is the risk not worth it?
The risk is not worth it.
Unless you pair her with an enforcer.
Exactly. Or unless you make institute a rule. Okay, well whoever's playing Caitlyn this week, we have a girl on every team, a woman on every team. That would make more sense and be more inclusive because then there are no mismatches. There are no.
But you could set a screen and get a,
Okay, yeah, of
Set a
course
screen
that,
and then
but
you switch off
that
and it's like, oh, boy.
It's still 3-on-3. I feel like there's a billion ways to incorporate women into this, and Caitlyn would be a great person to kick it off.
What did you call yourself earlier? The executor?
Yeah.
Okay. Because he just said enforcer, and I was thinking of the nickname that you gave yourself.
No, it's executor, yeah.
Okay.
Because we talked.
Execution.
Did we have? Was that on air?
No, it wasn't.
The
Just
things we talk
curious.
about on air and off air kind of blend together. I
Yeah.
remember. No, the Tony Show coming soon,
Yes.
Cool.
and then we were talking about executing that.
You're going to tell
I
people
called
you're
myself the
executing? Can I show
executor.
them?
No. Do it. We don't want to show them. We don't want to show them. They saw a sneak peek. It's on my Instagram. It's on the LeBatard Show Instagram. There's a sneak peek of the theme we're going for. Everybody's invited.
There's a theme?
yeah.
What's the theme?
It's Tony Show 2.
That's not a theme.
No,
That's
but
not a thing.
That's
No,
like
no.
the birthday party's theme is party.
No, no.
Like, that's
Too
not a
bad,
theme.
too Tony.
it's. Can
So-
I?
He
Should
almost
I
wrote
say
that
it
down.
or no?
It's a surprise for the audience.
It
so
is.
you can't reveal the theme.
Is the surprise that it's good?
Tony 2, Secret of the Use.
Is it like 80s theme?
Yeah, is there,
like
like,
what are like
Red Hot Chili
Closer,
Pepper theme?
it's
Like,
closer
what's
to
the deal?
80s theme than not.
Is it a
Warmer,
phase?
Is it a phase? No, it was more of an era.
Could
Tony,
I
22
buy
and a half.
like decorations for it at Party City?
Ooh, good question.
If you want, yeah. We didn't really.
And it would be easy for
our
I'm
budget.
not gonna do that.
Our budget wasn't really spent on decorations.
You
It
have
was-
a budget?
This
What's
is a
your
big business,
budget?
buddy. I don't know what you're doing. This is a
Right.
big business.
What's your
here.
budget?
I'm not gonna say it. We're not at liberty
Come
to
on,
say
man.
that.
Write it down
budget.
on the
My-
field.
My-
Write it
no,
down
I
on
can't
the
even
piece
write
of
it
paper.
down.
Don't do
My
that.
my business manager is taking care of that. I
Who's
don't,
that?
Taylor.
Are you a business? Do you have any business acumen
Of course.
Got a degree?
He's got a
in
degree, dude.
business?
No.
Okay.
Sport administration. Coaching minor.
Nice.
Attaboy.
Coaching minor.
Yeah.
What did they teach you in
Yeah.
coaching school?
We just went out and played games.
I had to take a
Suicide
coaching class in college, and it was all we did was watch movies, and they'd be like,
Oh, yeah.
so. We'd watch Remember Titans. They'd be like, "What did
Coach
you do
Boone,
well
you
there?"
didn't have to
Coach
take that
Boone.
class.
It was
A
part
lot
of
of
my
lessons.
sports.
A lot of lessons from
my
Coach Boone.
sports studies double major. It was part of it. And so it was literally like, it was 3 hours every
Hold on,
Tuesday.
what was the major?
Sports studies.
What is that? What
Nice.
does that mean? Sports studies.
Literally did not know when I was
Study
signing up.
sports.
It was the study of sports, but like, so most of it was just like sport and like social issues that relate to sports. I had to take like sports of like the 1800s. That sucked. That was not a fun class. Like I had to take like Gaelic sports. I had to take some of the classes were cool. Like we had sport and scandal, and so we would just spend weeks on like sports classes, like or scandals. Like we had like a whole week on Tiger Woods and stuff. And that class,
during the actual thing, like was
well,
that?
no, I'm much younger
I-
than that.
When I was in health,
much younger
my
than
health class, we used to always watch this one movie called Amadeus. And it was
Mozart.
such a classic. It was so fire.
Nothing to do with health, but it makes That's one of those classic school things. I took a class called Leisure in Your Life.
Oh.
I got a C.
You took that to heart
LOL
though,
class.
because you love leisure in your life.
No,
So what did you
I'm obviously
learn?
bad at it. I couldn't figure out how to unwind and relax. They were like, C. You can't figure out how to relax. Not working out for you so well. I remember one of the assignments was bring in your favorite song.
Oh, that's a great class.
What'd you bring?
I did it. It's a lot harder than you think. It's really hard.
What's your
like,
favorite song?
Well, that's the thing. I didn't know. I'm like, crap. I need to pass this class. I can't fail Leisure in Your
All right,
Life.
give me your,
That's an
everybody. We're
embarrassment.
going around the table. Everybody's favorite song right now, starting with Billy.
Well, you want me to tell you what my favorite song is, or you want me to tell you what I took?
I want you to tell me what your favorite song is.
I can't answer that question. That's the thing is I simply
Right.
cannot tell you what my favorite song
Juju
is.
got it. Your favorite song. I'll let you filibuster.
It's
never
just
gonna have
very
an answer.
hard. Fred Flintstone, Twist Twist, and Shawty Low still got them for the LO.
You got to pick one. You gave me two. I need one.
Fred Flintstone, Twist Twist.
Okay, Taylor.
Rich Baby Daddy. Drake. Sexy Red. I was between that and Kaita.
Lucy?
Dweller on the Threshold by Van Morrison.
Hey.
Which you guys probably don't know. It's so good.
That's so good.
Peg by Steely Dan.
Nice.
You got to pick one though.
No, I picked Dweller on the Threshold. I threw in another option. Juju
Right.
got two, I get two.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
The Tony Show too.
Rich baby daddy, huh?
Too fast, too Tony.
What's yours?
This is not my exercise. It was for you guys.
What the hell is that? What you mean?
You made us do it.
I know.
I
it's
still haven't
that-
on yours.
it's
I
that one
told you that I
song-
can't answer. I can't. I'm incapable of making a decision like that.
I know Tony's
You
favorite
have no
song.
leisure in
It's
your
that
life.
one song with Bad
Thank you.
Bunny.
You get it now. You
Which-
understand.
which
you
one?
want to know what I took in? I took
Monochrome?
it. Take Me Out to the Ball Game. That's what I said. My favorite song.
Oh my.
And then we had to play an excerpt of this song for the class, and it was the morning of, and I'm like, I don't have a song to take. What am I supposed to do?
But when you mean take,
I
like,
literally
you had to
played-
bring like a CD. Like what?
I don't remember how. I think it was like I played it off my computer or something. I don't remember, but I literally played "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" for the class. And you want to know, like, the ridiculous thing? Everyone started singing, and we had a bonding moment where everyone's singing "Take Me Out to the
Nice.
Ball Game" in this class.
Tony's
Something
favorite
that he
song
did
is that one
half-ass.
song, the Bad Bunny, and he be like,
That's Monaco, but no, that one's probably. Oh, my wife's.
What is
calling
your
me.
question? You had. Does your wife not know you work? Every single time we're recording,
No,
she
and
calls
no, and
you.
on top of that, then she'll say, when I get home, you don't work, and I'm like, you
Answer
called
it.
me when I was working.
Answer it.
No,
How
I
does your
can't
wife have the same reaction to everybody else here? Because like everyone every day is like, Tony, what do you do? And they're like, I come here to work. Yo trabajo. I'm here every day.
Yeah.
I'm here to work. And then we see you and
literally-
everyone's like
And
you're just
literally
playing
every
around.
day I'm working.
Right. y'all
Every
be
day
hating
you're
on my
here,
boy.
but
Y'all be hating on my boy. My boy be working, man. Tony brackets.
Thank
My
you.
boy got the MMA hangout.
Thank you.
My boy tastes food
Thank you.
around Miami.
Thank you.
My boy got a lot of other stuff going
Thank you,
on.
Sunday Night
He got the
Live.
Sunday Night Live with
Come
the
on.
kid
Come
himself.
on.
Stay tuned. Like,
Come
what
on.
else do you want him to do? The Tony Show?
Tony Tonight,
Come
Tony
on.
Show.
The board, the big board.
Yeah, what do you
Things
want
to
us
ponder file.
what do you
Tony's
want
top
me to do
5.
around
Like,
here?
what do you need?
Do we
He
do
got
content
you.
or do we not do content, Taylor? That's what I want to know.
but good content. Can I tell you something funny that happened to me
Damn.
this week?
No, you can't. We have 45 seconds.
I haven't been able to track down Stugotz yet for God Bless Football. Can't get an answer from him.
I'll do God Bless Football with you too. All right.
Me
didn't-
too, I'm in. I'm
that,
locked in.
that was not the offer. That's not where this story was
No,
going.
that's what it felt like.
That's
Everybody
not where
around here
this
felt
is
like that's where it was going, right?
No.
He wants me to work. He wants me to be on God Bless Football. Perfect.
No. That's not what the ask was. So then I'm like waiting to hear back from him. When are we going to record? How are we going to do this? Whatever, right? And then I'm sitting out there and I hear his voice. He sent a voicemail to you for Tony Brackets.
Do we have that on hand or no? Oh, it's too late. We
There's no
can't play
time. The guy won't answer my calls for the shows he has to do, but then he's doing bits for your shows.
Damn.
And
Insane.
that's why we are always working at the Tony Factory. That's it.
feel me?
That's all we do.
It's a factory.
Yeah, it's a factory. Just like Ross Tucker Pod Factory, the Tony Content Factory is always humming. And then on Fridays, Miller Lite.
Free eBay.